Hi all, welcome back to more of the other side of the hill. So this is, I think, part 56. I think, because I still I just come straight back there, so I'm not. I've got some computer problems at the moment, so I can't double check or copy things across just yet. So I just came straight back. I thought, well, I've got the time to play, so let's do it. Right, we are in the middle of the Soviet offensive. We've got two more checks to make. And the last card was card number 6, combat card, and it was still an attack. It was the first card of the fresh combat deck. So both of these are defending on river. Both of them have got the same armies. Bush, we know, can cancel or has a chance of cancelling. The other guy, Kemp, I can't remember what. Remember Kemp? Oh yeah, if there are 2 reduced armies in the combat area, roll 1 grey die instead of 1 white. Yeah, I think we took a chance and put him up there. That's good then. On saying that, I'll tell you what, I've just realised what the problem could be there. Oh no, we've got a reduced army in the pool. So yeah, so I'm going to take this on first, I think. Because I'm just thinking we need 2 reduced armies to be able to do this. Just looking at the wording on that and thinking like Grantos thinks. If we had 3 reduced armies in the combat area, would we still be rolling 1 grey die instead of 1 white die for them? I mean, you could. I think the intention is yes, but it doesn't say. It does just say if there are 2. So if there are 3, you could technically say that doesn't apply. But then again, you could argue that there are still 2. But no, there's not 2, there's 3. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen, just in case. Carlos or anybody else, am I being silly there? If there were 3 reduced armies, does Werner Kempf still apply his ability? Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to say yes, but I don't know. You never know. There might be a reason that there has to be just 2, and 3 is not. I'm going to cut it, but I think my machine is booting up now. Hopefully, right. Well, we're going to go for Belarus first then. So defending and river. Let's draw a combat card. So Soviet faction attacking 1944. 1944. Well, we're maybe going to have to find out the answer to that question then. So I really wanted this one for Bush to have a chance at cancelling this. So it is a reduction in 3 dice. Well, unless we can find somebody to maybe stop the reduction. So there is a combat, reduction in 3 dice in Belarus. Let's pick our generals. Well, we've got von Manstein again, and we've got Kempf. So I don't know. I'm sort of feeling like I might need to go and ask the question now. Alright, so von Manstein's going to do his thing with the reroll, and then Kempf hopefully still does his thing. I mean, I wouldn't have at first. It was just looking at it there and then thinking, what would happen there? But I mean, initially, and I think if I looked at him before, I would have thought, well, let's just say that well, it might be that there's 3 reduced armies there because we've got to take a reduction. But let's just say this combat was there right now. I mean, would we get to roll 1 grey dice instead of 1 of the whites? I would have took it that it was a yes, but the way it's worded, again, it might just be me being looking into it too deeply. Right, we need a leading general, and we're down to 4s being our highest. Right, good. Second. Right, so I've got there's four generals here that are of use. We're defending in river, remember. Enrique, which is he's really good. And then three of the threes that might not have seen before. This one's defending in river. Subtract one die from the ally combat roll. That's pretty tempting. This guy's defending in any. That's a combat roll includes at least one grey hit result. Well, he's not going to be useful, is he? Because we're not going to be rolling any grey dice, so I can put him away, actually. And control and point and reroll one die in ally combat roll. New result must be applied. So I mean, it's Enrique or Hansen. Enrique is one of the fours. We've got 3 4s at the moment. Obviously, just to get down to be able to get the last ones that are some 2s. There's 3 2s. But nothing that can stop the reduction. So we're going to have to take that. I sort of feel tempted to go for that. How many dice were they rolling? Just 3. Yeah. Subtract one die from the ally combat roll. I don't know. Could we not cope with the 3? But then you've got to put somebody else in, Grant. Yeah, we had. Oh, no, it's defender and rough. Yeah, that's not any good. So yeah, I suppose we do take Hansen. Thing is, are we going to be doing much defending in river on the Eastern Front? Well, yeah, you've got this one here as well, Grant. But I mean, I could use Enrique for they are if I needed to. I suppose. Yeah, okay, I think I'm going to go for that one. Subtract one die from the ally combat roll. Now, but now we're in the position of, well, if you do feel like this is a question, then you need to know the answer to it. Because we're going to resolve the special effect now. We've selected our generals. And there is a reduced army in the force pool. So we're going to reduce this for this. So now we've got 3 reduced armies, not 2. I think I'm pretty sure it still applies. It's just the way it's written. But you know me. How do I go about this? Because if I ask a question, I'm not going to get an answer right away. Right, give me a second. Right, so I have popped the question out there, but how do I go about dealing with this? Well, let's roll the allied dice first, I suppose. We've took the reduction, and we've got 3 allied dice. However, we do have Christian Hansen here subtracting 1 dice from the allied roll because we're defending in river against the Soviet faction. So they're going to roll, this is red dice, Grant. They're going to roll just 2 dice. So I'm kind of hoping this isn't going to matter, right? If they roll 2 hits, it might do. But, okay. So, yeah, we get a reroll on one of ours as well. Right, okay, so here's our 2 dice. Well, their naval's at 1, so indeed that is just 2 hits. Okay. So, I'm rolling 3 white dice. Or am I? What I'll do is I'll get 2 different results here. What I'll do is, because if there are 2 reduced armies in the combat area, roll 1 grey dice instead of 1 of the white. And I'm pretty sure that is the case. But what I'm going to do is roll 2 white dice and then see what we get. I really need to know this, don't I? And then I'm thinking I'll roll the other white dice, and that'll be if he doesn't apply, and then I'll roll grey dice if he does apply. that make sense? I mean, the worst case scenario for us is we're rolling 3 white dice. If I get 3 hits, then I'm happy. If I have to re-roll one, then I don't know what to do. Well, let's roll 2 of the 3 dice first. I don't think. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong by that, am I? So I've still got to roll 1 other dice. It's either white or grey. Right, here's the 2. Oh my. Oh, that's not good. Right. 2 events. Oh, dear me. Well, all I can get here is a maximum of 2 hits, isn't there? I mean, I've got Von Manstein to re-roll. Right, let's roll the extra white dice if Werner Kemp's ability doesn't apply, right? And we get a blank. Right, let's roll the grey dice if his ability does apply, which I think is the case. And I get a hit. So, what is the guns? Is the guns the same on the white dice as on that? There's only one. Like, there's 1 on the white dice and there's 1 on the grey dice. So, right, I know this is a bit messy. Sorry about this. It's like, I shouldn't really be faffing about with this way. Is it still recording? Phone just came right off. Hang on. Right, I'll see if I can edit that little bit out, unless it's not. As long as it's not doing any harm. The phone just slipped right off the. And I've always said this tripod's getting a bit battered and bruised. So, okay, so these dice are the Allies one, and let's just change that to a hit because their naval control is at 1, so it counts as a hit anyway. They're 2 definite rolls. This is if Werner Kemp's ability doesn't apply. This is if it does. So, but out of that lot, I could still come out of this with 3 hits, Grant. Possibly. So, a tank's not any good. Guns is the only thing of any use. Now, there's 1 guns on a white dice, and there's only 1 guns on a grey dice. So I'm going to use Von Manstein's ability to re-roll one of these, and these are definites, remember, one of these combat events. And if I get the guns, well, I think either way, I'm going to have to find out for sure about this. Right, so Von Manstein's re-rolling this white dice. Right, see if we can do it again then. We've done it already a couple of times, I think. We need the guns. We don't get it, but we do get a hat. So, the result is either going to be, it's going to be a defeat if that doesn't count by 1, right? Or it's going to be an attrition if that doesn't count. So, that means we can move on in the game without finding the answer to this question. I think. Because the result is going to be, like I said, the result is going to be 1 reduction or 1 retreat. Either way, isn't it? If that doesn't count, it's 1 reduction or 1 retreat with an attrition. If that doesn't count, it's 1 reduction or 1 retreat with a defeat. Defeat by 1. Okay, what a messy situation, Grant. What a messy thing you create, and I'm pretty sure you know fine well that this grey dice is counting, but, well, anyway, we've got a combat event that we do need to resolve, so that could change things up as well. So that's definitely there, isn't it? Yes. We've done the reroll. Okay, so combat event. Let's see what we get. No retreat. Okay. If the access is the attacker or the combat's result is victory, down the bottom, well, no, it's either attrition or defeat. The Axis faction cannot retreat in the current combat. Apply all hits as reductions. That's fine. I wouldn't be wanting to retreat anyway. And then this goes in the new year, right? Fine. So, like I've said, right, hang on, that takes care of the event. Well, we've still to deal with... Well, we just know we can't retreat, okay? And then this card goes in the new year, right? That's fine. No retreat, yeah. Card goes in the new year. Right. Right. Yeah, so it's one hit either way, depending on how my question comes back. It's one hit either way. We can't retreat. We take a reduction, and that's basically that, isn't it? That does put one reduced army into the force pool for us as well, which is probably useful. And we've been reduced to 2 armies there. No, it was just either way, I believe. Either way, nobody's questioned as well, I don't think. Yeah, it would only be if we retreated. Yeah, okay. So either way, nobody's questioned as well. Good. Combat's done. Right, we can take these dice away. However they should have been, whether it was that or that as a result. It doesn't change things, and we'll find out for sure eventually when Carlos gets around to saying that I'm being daft and overthinking or whatever. Right, Von Manstein goes back in command, Werner Kempf goes back in command. Von Manstein might be coming out again. Christian Hansen, well, he did do his thing because they only rolled 2 dice instead of 3 and they got 2 hits, so he's been activated. He was one of the 3s, and that's that. Right, one more combat to deal with. Or to check. Baltic States, Bush, right, remember Bush can possibly cancel a reduction special effect. So combat card, here we go. Soviet faction attacking 1944. Really? These haven't come out very well for us this season. So it's a satellite reduction. Card number 15, that is. The satellite reduction, which is the one you want Modal to get. Because you can cancel anything. And unfortunately Bosch can only cancel the lightning bolt one. And 4 dice. Oh dear. Right, okay. So let's get Von Manstein back out again. Hopefully he's going to help. And then let's just double check Bush, but yeah, it's there. I mean, it just cancels that special effect, which is not the one we've got. Aye, well. So they backfired on us. Done them the wrong way about for sure. Well, that would have been a rough one to have taken there as well, though, wouldn't it? However, cancelling extra dice in there from 4, that's what I thought. Reducing 3 to 2 seems like, yeah, you can sometimes cope with 3. Reducing 4 to 3 seems like a better way. However, well, we're not going to get used to that guy. Right, who are we going to use then? It's going to be a 4 or a 3. So, and we're defending in River again, so give me a sec. Yeah, so we've already looked at the guys. Enrique is obviously really good. Reroll up to 2 dice now. Let's just combat roll. Control and put him in choose original result or the new result. And remember, Von Manstein's going to reroll as well. We're getting 3 dice. And remember, they're starting with a hit built in. So 4 dice and they're starting with a hit. If the Axis Combat roll includes at least one grey, cancel 1. Then yeah, it might do something. And then finally, control pyramid reroll 1 die now, like combat roll, new result must be applied. That's not great. I think Enrique's possibly the one we want here. Yeah, let's do it. And then, ooh, yeah, no, we were okay. I'm just looking back on Kemph because he's only got a seniority of 5. But it was 4s and 3s we were using, and I think it was a 3 we used as well. So but that's fine. Bosch's seniority is 6, so we're going to use Enrique. Defending an any against Soviet faction, reroll up to 2 dice and Axis combat roll. Controlling player may choose the original result or the new result. Now, my guess is we can do these in any order. With and I'm talking about may reroll 1 die in Axis combat roll. The second result must be applied. Okay. Yes. Is that going to cause any trouble with that? Because the other one's reroll and you can choose either or. Oh, I'm sure I'll work it out. Right. So that's one of the 4s going to be away. We've got 2 4s left still though. Right. So special effect is a satellite reduction. We don't have any satellite armies there, so it's going to count as a hit. So they start with 1 hit, and they're now going to roll 4 dice. Area with controls at 1, as we know. So any aircraft results are going to be bad. Well, they're going to be hits. Right, we can't do anything with his dice, no. Right, let's see what we get. It's going to be four more hits on top of the one they've got. Man, just don't seem to be rolling events, do they? Well, even aircraft there were hurting us. Right, so we're up against 5 hits, so I'm pretty glad we did pick Enrique. I'm just not sure how to go about these rerolls. Okay, so we've got 1 grey and 2 white. And we need 3 guns, really. Yeah, that's what we need. We need 3 guns for 6 hits to win this battle. Okay, so right, let's roll first and see what we get. Well, that's good. We got 1 guns. I'm just not sure if von Manstein's going to override something here. Right, I'm definitely not re-rolling that. So von Manstein says, reroll 1 die in Axis combat roll. The second result must be applied. Enrique says, reroll up to 2 dice in Axis combat roll. The controlling player may choose the original result or the new result. I'm going to say here, I can reroll these 2 with Enrique. Then I can reroll 1 from von Manstein and I've got to take the result. Does that sound fair? I think I'm just going to have to go with this one. I'm not going to try and ask questions about how this needs to be done. Thing is, with Enrique, I can re-roll these 2 and I could keep that result or the new result. So we've got a grey hat and a white blank. I can't see myself wanting to keep that. So let's re-roll these 2. Re-roll up to 2 dice in Axis combat roll. Just as a reminder, that's what we're doing. Reroll up to 2 dice in the Axis combat roll. Controlling player may choose the original result or the new result. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the new result. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to take the new result. However, I'm now sitting with von Manstein, who says I can reroll one die and Axis combat roll. The second result must be applied. I think you might be better just taking this, Grant. Yeah, in fact, yeah, no. I'm not rerolling because look at this. The result we're sitting at just now is that von Manstein would allow me to reroll one of these 3 dice, and I have to take what it is. Let's just say we get lucky and get guns. We've got 5 hits. They've got 5 hits anyway. We're sitting with 4 hits there against their 5. It's just the same. It's the same again. It's a defeat, but only by 1. So I think that's what we take that. Yeah. So it's a defeat by 1. No special things to deal with, no events, etc. Okay, a defeat by 1. We do have a reduced army in the pool. We don't want to retreat, so we're taking the reduction. Nobody has questioned through that. Combat's done. Oh, that goes away. Combat's done. That's right, isn't it? 5 to 4 it was. Yeah, 5 to 4. Right, combat card goes away. And remember, they got the extra hit because of the thing, yeah. So Bush goes back in command, von Manstein goes back in command. Henrique, unfortunately, is going away now. Yeah, see that? He'd been great and as an AG head, wouldn't he? It's no easy to get them in there though. I mean, we did get Modal though in there, so he was a 5, but see, that's the thing. We're down to 4s now. Well, hold on, Grant. He can still come from activated. Yeah, that's a good thing about it. Yeah, because we're down to 4s. Okay. Let's just try and think more about it when it comes to the next command phase. Think more about it. See if you can maybe move somebody away to allow these guys in. That'd be better for you. Right, that's the Soviet offensive done. Now hold on. One thing I'm just remembering which I didn't do in the Western offensive. After there was no pawns left, that no Western offensive markers should come away, so that now that they can attack in here as well. Yeah, it's horrible over there, isn't it? But anyway, military directives objective check. We've not got any supply check. Right, there's still no issues, but it's starting to, I suppose, get slightly worrying. Well, this traces. It's in Frankfurt, which is a Festung. Paris there can trace. It can still trace through there into Frankfurt anyway. That's right, I think. But I mean, it can go through Belgium, Holland to get to Ruhr. As well, and Denmark, Norway's fine. So nothing cut off as of yet. Okay, yeah. So victory check, still nothing doing there. Back to, moving into the new season, the summer, administrative phase, 1944, and we're at the bombing of Germany. It's at 5, good, I was a bit worried. Well, it's at 5, but however, our Wehrmacht replacements got dropped to 2. Luftwaffe is at 1, strategic warfare's at 0. Yeah, it's all a bit messy. And we lost a resource again. In the spring there, didn't we, with the landing? Yeah, we did. So summer, and we've got another landing, which I'm pretty sure is going to come along. Because, we get 2 checks at it as well, don't we? 2 operations phases. So, not good. I'm only at 30 minutes there. Okay. Right, let's push on a little bit more. 30 minutes, I'll just complete this part and then go and take the dogs out, I think. Or we'll see. Right, bombing in Germany, that's a 5, so no effect, so good. German replacements now. Right, well, as I've just highlighted, 2 Wehrmacht replacements, unfortunately. This is the first time we've had just 2, is it? Maybe there was one other occasion. Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the whole Black Orchestra cards. Yeah, I left that last part with some doubt about what happens now when folk get questioned. Do you shuffle that deck up and start again? There's no mention of it anywhere. And is it not just... I suppose I thought there might be a coup attempt in 1945 as well. But I mean, historically I think this is how it happened, didn't it? It was 1944 and that was it. There's no mention of it. Yeah, I don't know, 4.3.1. That's when you're drawing Black Orchestra cards. Draws a Black Orchestra card and places on the Black Orchestra card space. Yeah. I think it's just a one-off thing, really. What I'll maybe do is shuffle the deck up again. Because, I mean, we are probably going to get dismissals again. And I don't know... Well, I think there's no Black Orchestra cards left, Grant. That's, I suppose, how I would think about it. Black Orchestra cards 7.5. No, is that not just telling you about the Q? It's not 7.5 anyway. Black Orchestra. No, there's nothing in the index about it in there. So, there is. Sorry. Using them 7.4. 7.5. There's not a 7.5, so I don't think. Unless I've missed. No, 7.4 is the Q attempt. And that's it. Yeah, I think it's just a one-off. Well, I'll think about what I'm going to do when I get there. If I get dismissals again, I might just shuffle the deck up and draw a card every time I get a dismissal. And we need a coup attempt to come along again for it to matter. And then if there was one, well, you know what? No, I think you're overthinking again, Grant. Right, 2 Wehrmacht replacements. Oh my, only 2. So... I need far more than 2. Right, we definitely don't touch Turkey because we've got far more worrying things. We really, we've not got any reduced armies at the moment. So we need, that's horrible. So we need to upgrade something and put an army in northern France. So you've got movement. Yeah, you've got movement. Well, we can move this now, but we don't want to abandon that either. Yeah, I think we're going to have to try and do something here. So upgrade something. And then put a reduced army in northern France. Also looks like Belarus is going to be left. Should that be the upgrade maybe? Oh no, because Kempf does the thing with 2 reduced armies, doesn't he? Mind you take a reduction there, a special reduction there this time, and you're screwed with that one too, aren't you? Well, I certainly don't really want to upgrade there. So where else would you upgrade? I mean, I could upgrade in northern Italy. Yeah, that's not the worst idea. List does nothing. Yeah, I think so. So our first point is going to be to upgrade that reduced army in northern Italy to a regular army. Now we've got a reduced army in the pool, so our second point is to put this in northern France. Yeah, that's it. Right, our Luftwaffe replacements are at 1. All our air naval controls are at 1. Apart from the Germany one, which is at 5, so we don't need to move that. So what's the more important one? Well, we're getting attacked here and here this time in the Western Front. In the Eastern Front, in the Southern Front, we're getting attacked here and here. And then on the Eastern Front, we're getting attacked at 4. But they don't get the extra dice. I think we've got to just leave. Well, we're going to have strategic warfare, which you never know, we might get lucky. Remember, that's not going to be moving from 3 to 4, unfortunately. So we've got the chance of the West. So does that mean you take on the Southern one, bump it up by 1, and the hope that you get a strategic warfare result? I don't know, Grant. I don't know. I think our Western Front is in a terrible state anyway. I don't know if I'm going to move anything about or not, to be honest. I possibly should. It means I'm going to be taking stuff from the east, though. Strategic movement is going to be 5. 1, 2. Well, there's 2 combats in the south and 2 combats in the west. The ones in the west are rougher, aren't they? Well, at least we've got 2 armies here defending rough, 2 armies there defending rough. Yeah, okay. And the chances of me succeeding in strategic warfare are pretty slim. So let's move that up by 1 in the western. Okay. And our strategic warfare replacements are at 0, so I can't move that. There's no satellite replacements to look at. Production table, right. Let's see if we can make something of it this time. Well, unfortunately this time we need to play a military card. Well, the local offensive is only 1, Grant. So what we're sitting at just now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we've got 12, we've got 1 to play with. Well, I'd like that back there, please, if I can. Yeah, I'd like a lot of things, but... Right, so the summer offence, yeah, let's not mess about. We're going to play this. We're going to play a local offensive. I'm not sure where we're playing it, but it's any area. So we're going to play that, and that costs 1 anyway, so military directives cost can stay at 1. Political, I'm not going to be able to afford to play this, even if I wanted to. I mean, we're past the Q attempt, so fanaticism maybe doesn't matter, but I don't think... no, I don't think you can put it to 3, Grant. The production directives, this is only 1 left. Again, does fanaticism matter anymore? I don't know. I'm not sure. It costs 2 though, and we were sitting at 3 with that. You know what? I may be tempted not to bother about that now then. It's not that we can complete it this turn anyway, we're only going to get to 1. So why not play that, and play that... Stop. Do we control 2 areas? Yeah, we do. And maybe that's the reason why we should get this played. Because the prerequisite for that is Axis controls at least 2 areas in the USSR. We control Baltic states and we control Belarus. Yeah, so we're alright there still, but we need to get this played. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that then. So I want to play this, which costs 3. Fanaticism -1. Like I say, I don't think it matters now, but it might. Set this card aside. Next time the combat event card Russian Partisans is played, discard both cards. And we've not seen that card yet this year. So that sounds like a plan. So that means I'm wanting that at 3. Which means I don't think I can have that at 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've only got 12. So unless I knock my Luftwaffe down to 0. Or what about this then? I think you want to be careful, Grant. I'm sure fanaticism still matters. Yeah, and you know what? In the fall, you can play the Project V weapons. Hopefully. By then, you might have lost some more resources. Yeah, let's not. Let's just put that to 1 and not bother with production. Directive. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's what we're sitting at. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to move Luftwaffe up as well. We could drop consumer goods to get Luftwaffe up. Let me maybe just look a little more into fanaticism. Right, so it's in the index. So on page 33, Rule 9, Fanaticism and Unrest. The Fanaticism track reflects the loyalty of the German Armed Forces and Officer Corps to the regime. Fanaticism may increase or decrease as a result of several political, production, military directive and event cards, as well as the movement of the consumer goods market on the production table. The fanaticism value may never be lower than 0 or higher than 9. Ignore all results that would cause it to be lower than 0 or higher than 9. And then it talks about unrest, which we know how that works, but it doesn't give you anything there. I knew it was going to affect the coup attempt, but we've had the coup attempt. What about final scoring, victory objectives? Rule 10, that's there as well. So if the players have not lost due to collapse of Germany, the game ends after resolving the final segment of the 1945 turn. Players check the number of victory points they have at the end of the game. So we get 1 victory point for every Festung sector controlled by the Axis, a number of victory points equal to the fanaticism value. So yeah, it's still important. However, we could knock it down just now. I think the fact that there's not going to be a coup coming along. So yeah, I think that's all I need to read. Well, reading on victory points. 1 victory point for every French or USSR home area controlled by the Axis not disputed. Right now we're talking about we've got Baltic States, Belarus there. So they would give us 2 points, but whether that's going to be like that at the end of the game, I don't know, is debatable. And then 1 victory point for every concluded project mark on the year track. Well, we've got 3 of them, and there's another reason to complete the Project V weapons, isn't it? Okay, that's got me thinking even more about things, I think. So, going back to this production table, if we knock this down to 1, we knock fanaticism down by 2 as well, down to 5. Unrest at 0, so okay. But in the hope that, and remember, you cannot, in the last, is it the last turn in the game? So this will be in production, actually, production table. What we're doing just now, production, where are we? production table 3.1.3. I just want to confirm when you can't move that consumer goods. 3.1.3. Important, the consumer goods marker cannot be moved on the last turn of the scenario. The last turn is going to be it should be the fall of 1945 then, is that right? Yeah, what it's saying is you can't then suddenly boost that up just to give yourself another 2 points of fanaticism. So I need to work on that. But I can see myself in the fall putting that back up, assuming we've got major issues with production. So I think I can drop this to 1 here and take the hit, which would allow me to either boost the Luftwaffe up to 3 or boost the Luftwaffe to 2 and get that production directive Project V weapons going. That sounds like a plan. And then hopefully, like I say, in the fall, if I can't move it right back up to 3, if I can just move it up to 2 for the first time and then move up to 3 the next time, then it gives me the boost back up. Yeah, I like that. Right, so I'm going to knock this. Well, hang on. I'm going to leave that at 2, and I'm going to put that at 2. So right now we should be, I think, sitting at 14. Yeah, I think so. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we've only got 12. So we're going to knock this down by 2. And each bump of that going down by 2 reduces fanaticism by the same 1, 2. But, like I say, when we move that back up, it moves back up. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we're sitting at 12. Perfect. So that allows a wee bit more Luftwaffe, and we're getting to play our Project V weapons. Unfortunately not getting to complete it, but one step closer, shall we say. Right, okay. Go with that. Let's go with that. Right, production directive. Well, that's what we're moving on to right now. So we are indeed going to play our Project V weapons. It's already on the track. It's at 2 because unfortunately we got it to 1 and then that event put it back. So I need a 3+ on the dice to move this down to 1. Now this is quite an important rule. So 50-50 though, isn't it? 3+. Oh no. Right, that's not what we wanted to see. Right, so we fail. So we get this -1 on that and it stays where it is. So next time we play this, we need a 3+, but there's a modifier -1, so we need a 2+. So, and then this just goes back in our hand. We can try it again in the fall, but it doesn't mean we're going to have to go into the next year to be able to complete it. Yeah, okay. Right, okay, well, I think that's the first. No, it's not the first time you failed, actually. Right, political directives. Right, well, we're going to take a serious hit on our fanaticism. Right, I'm going to play this. And our value was at 2 there for the V weapons. Political directive values at 3. Slavic cooperation. Prerequisite, that's to control at least 2 areas in USSR. We've got Baltic states, we've got Belarus, so we're good. Fanaticism -1. So down it goes again. Set this card aside. The next time the combat event card, Russian partisans play, discard both these cards. Okay, so that's all it's going to do. I'm just going to set it aside just there. There is an area up there with directives that you may put in, but I'll just leave it there. It's probably more remind me. I don't think I'll forget when that comes up. So. Right, and then military directives. Well, we do have one. I don't think we don't need to decide just yet, do we? Mind when we play this though, we don't want to, because if we fail, yeah. Do you know where you're playing this, Grant? I don't know. I'm not sure. But you need to play one in the summer or we're going to take a fanaticism hit again. And I don't want to, like, I'm already taking chances here, hoping that it's not going to have any major effect. We're not going to get another coup all of a sudden. So I'm going to play a local offensive. It costs 1. That's what we've got our set up. Combat pawns in any area. And then this goes back into the deck, even if it's unsuccessful. Oh, sorry, even if it's successful. Objective is to take any allied control sector adjacent to an Axis control disk. I'm actually not sure where I'm wanting to do this, because I don't want to move into any of the eastern areas. And yeah, I was looking, why not go into Iraq, Iran from Turkey, but remember, Middle East, we would still get attacked in Turkey and we would need to split our armies. Northern Italy into southern Italy? That would work. Yeah, that would work. Because this is still disputed area. I mean, okay, it's probably not got long to go, but... And, no, you do need to advance one army, don't you? Yeah, okay. I think that's maybe where it might happen. Right, so I'm going to set this aside as well. Just here, and we'll put one of our pawns on it. And we don't, like I say, we don't make that choice just yet anyway, I don't believe. Right, so now we're down into the operations phase. So the first operations phase of the summer of 1944 with strategic warfare. I think I'll stop the video there. I'm not sure if I'm just going to come straight back or maybe I should just get the dogs out just now. I'm going to check the time and have a wee think about it. Well, that's 52 minutes anyway. Yeah, okay. I'll be back later. Cheers.